Ladies and gentlemen, I think we might have our masterpiece of the year. Hello everyone, I'm Jay Mayer and welcome to my review of Dune Part 2. And it is one of the most anticipated movies of 2024, at least for most people. It was not really one of my anticipated movies of this year. For some reason I was not really that excited for it, but still thought it was going to be a great movie. And it really delivered. Dune Part 2 is definitely the spectacle epic of 2024. This movie was amazing on many levels. And just like Part 1, the movie is directed by Denis Villeneuve, one of the best directors working today. If you see his filmography of the past few years, this guy really delivered some great masterpieces. And also in the main roles we have Timothée Chalamet again, also Zendaya, now in a bigger role. Also returning are Rebecca Ferguson, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin is also back. We also have Stellan Skarsgård and Dave Bautista. And also some new names are attached to this movie, like Florence Pugh plays the daughter of the Emperor. And the Emperor is actually played by Christopher Walken, which was a nice surprise to see him in this movie. And of course, Austin Butler is also someone new in this movie. And Dune Part 2 actually starts where Dune Part 1 ended. And Dune Part 1 was a great movie as well. But it will feel a bit like introduction. They were all introducing us to these characters, to this world, to this conflict of Arrakis, to this situation, and it was all building up to a bigger conflict, a bigger war that was really promised to us to have in Dune Part 2. So in Dune Part 2 we see Paul Atreides and his mother on the run from the Harkonnens. Those are actually our villain group in these movies, and they found a sanctuary with the Freemen. Those are the actual inhabitants of this planet, Arrakis, also known as Dune, and so they are living with them. And Paul, who is actually the chosen one, there is a whole prophecy on him. He is spending time with these people. He's learning the ways of the desert, and he wants to fight with these people against the Harkonnens for a war on this planet, because the Harkonnens are actually there for the spice, which is worth a lot. So that's basically Dune. And I have great things to say about this movie, and I have some big positives. And they are mostly the same positives I have with the first Dune movie. First of all, the way it looks. This movie is beautifully to look at. The cinematography is top notch. And it's just a beautiful movie to look at. The locations, the cinematography, the way the camera moves. You really can tell that Denis Villeneuve has a passion for this movie. And he really shows that passion in the way he directs, in the way he cinematography this movie. It's amazing. Also the score. Like the first Dune movie has one of the perfect scores I have ever heard in a long time. And Dune Part 2 also a great score. It's obviously very similar to Dune Part 1. So the newness of the score is not really here with Dune Part 2. I had that with Dune Part 1, so I was not really that stunned by it like I was with the first time I saw Dune Part 1. And also a big positive I have to say in this movie that is definitely improved over the first one are the action scenes. The action in this movie is amazingly great. This is sci-fi action done correctly, done perfect. And Denis Villeneuve also chose to do mostly long takes or longer takes, especially for the action scenes. In the beginning there are some little fight scenes, little conflict scenes, and they are mostly long takes, and it's just amazing. And the action, great stuff. And the plot is also really nice. You are really into the story of Dune Part 2. First, the movie really takes its time to spend time with the Freemen, to get to know them, to learn the ways of the desert, just like Paul is doing in this first half of the movie. So the first half can maybe feel a bit slow, not that action-packed like we were promised when Dune Part 1 ended, but it is logical. It's logical to take it a bit slower before we go to the all-out war. And it's actually very interesting to spend some time with these people and these ways of the desert, to know the planet better. And for me, the story really starts when we are introduced to the character of Austin Butler. And he is basically the villain of this movie, the main villain of the movie. Like, I always thought that was going to be Dave Bautista's character. Dave Bautista's character, I really thought that he was going to shine out more, be more villainous, but it was actually kind of disappointing. I expected more for him, more villainous, but that was not the case, and that was a bit shameful. But what I missed in his character, I really found in the character of Austin Butler. This character was very entertaining. Maybe even the most entertaining character of this movie. This is the kind of character that you love to play, and Austin Butler, he loved to play that character. He did an amazing job. Also, the acting is also great, especially Timothy and Zendaya really did a fantastic job in their characters. And there is only one thing, it's something essential to the plot of Dune, it's a part of the story, but the whole thing with the mother and her powers and that whole group of people and with those powers, I know there is a name for it, I can't remember, but that was not for me. That it was something that actually put me out of the whole experience. That was so distracting, and I don't know, I don't like that. That was a part of the movie that I don't like it. And also, there are scenes in it that the mother talks with her baby in her belly. Was also a bit strange for me. But I get it, it's all essential to the plot, but for me, didn't work. And also, maybe the best thing about this movie was actually the ending. When we actually got to see this war. The war is great. We don't really... well, especially how it all ended was so amazing. And the way this movie wraps up things was perfect. I'm not gonna tell you how they did it. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I thought it was amazing. And they actually set up a part 3. Not really that excited for it, but when it comes, I will definitely check it out, and I will also be stunned by how great it is. So these were a bit my basic thoughts on the movie. It's a great, epic, it's amazing movie, but also it did not really blow me away. There are some things that I missed in this movie to really blow me away. But still, it's a great epic movie. It will definitely be one of the best movies of the year for me, but probably not the best movie. For some reason, I'm not really all that into this world. It's not really my kind of franchise, but still, I really enjoy these movies for the greatness that they are. So these were my thoughts on the movie Dune Part 2. Please let me know what you thought on this movie. What were things that you really admire on this movie? Let me know below in the comments. Would love to read those. And if you want to see more reviews of me in the future, always be free to subscribe to my channel. Until the next time.